Hello, friends. Today we're going to look a little bit at happiness. It's an area that a lot of you have asked me to look at, especially during this current pandemic and this current crisis, which is bringing up a lot of unhappiness for a lot of people, of course. And I think happiness is very misinterpreted. I think that happiness is something that we do need to look at in a lot of detail. Because it's impossible to be happy all the time. And it's unfair to say that you should be happy all the time. Yes, that's what we're all striving towards, of course. We all want to be happy all the time. But there are situations where we may be faced with grief, we may be faced with loss, we may be faced with illness, we may be faced with lack. Okay, and yes, happiness is a state of mind and it is determined by our thoughts. But we also need to balance this with our emotional intelligence and with knowing that all our emotions are valid. We have the right to feel them and we have the right to process them and we have the right to put them where they belong in their place. So let's look at happiness within this context in a slightly different form. Let's look at it as something that we have as a baseline, something that forms the foundation, okay, of who we are, that we can build upon every day as much as we want. But sometimes it'll be thrown a little bit off course, and that's okay. It's okay to feel the things that you're feeling. We're all feeling them. It's okay to have moments of panic or anxiety or grief. We are going through something quite huge. And these shifts take a lot out of us, and they're asking for a lot from us. And that's okay as well. So if we look at happiness as our core, as our base level, and everything else that is happening around that as sometimes taking us a little bit off course, I think it's more manageable. I think it's more appropriate. I think it makes more sense than me coming to you and saying, we can be happy all the time. It's just a matter of our thoughts. But then that dismisses all the other emotions that we're feeling, and all the other emotions are perfectly valid. So just to read to you a little bit from my book. Your happiness is independent and unrelated to external events, circumstances, or situations. It is something that only you control. However, it is a state of mind. So we need to be at peace with our mind. We need to be at peace with what we're feeling and what we're thinking, and not judge ourselves for this and not criticize ourselves for this, because this puts undue pressure on us and we will never be able to get back to our baseline of being in a constant state of happiness if we do this. Instead of judgment and criticism and putting unrealistic expectations on ourselves, what we should be doing is looking at ourselves with love, with compassion, with empathy, and being appreciative of all the things that we're experiencing, because those are the things that make us who we are. Thank you.